Hello again, and today we'll start our lectures on reproduction. All right, okay. So when we think about the reproductive system, most of us probably the first thing you think about is probably testes and penis and vaginas and uterus and breasts. Those are probably the first thing that kind of come to your mind when you think about sex and reproduction. But those are not your primary sex organs. Okay, your primary sex organs are the testes in the male and the ovaries in the female. So it's not the penis, it's not the vagina, it's not the uterus, but it's the testes and the ovaries. Those are your primary sex organs. And these are the organs that make your gametes, okay, or your sex cells. And so in males, the production of sperm, and in females, the ova or the egg. Okay, so the organs that actually make the sperm and egg are our primary sex organs. These organs also are part of the endocrine system. They make hormones, especially the sex hormones, testosterone in the males, and estrogen and progesterone in the females. The accessory reproductive organs are all the other stuff that we typically think about, ducts and glands and the external genitalia. And so we're going to talk to you about what goes on, what the secondary characteristics are, what your accessory reproductive organs are in both the male and the female. Let's first talk a little bit about the sex hormones and what they do. They're very important in the development and the function of the reproductive organs. Okay, they are what give us our sexual behaviors, our sexual drive. Maybe you've heard of the word libido, your sex drive. So those are tied to your endocrine organs, your sex hormones. They're important in the growth and development of other organs and tissues as well. Not only the reproductive organs, but think about when you learned about muscle and bone, how testosterone had an effect on making muscles bigger and bone thicker and stronger versus estrogen. These hormones also play a role in puberty, and they are responsible for the appearance of your secondary sex characteristics. All right, so this is a little schematic where you see these are prepubescent boy and girl. All right, once those hormones turn on, and you're going to start to see axillary hair, like in the genital area and under the arms. You're going to start to see body hair, growth spurts. When you hit puberty, you go through a really rapid growth spurt. In the male, facial hair and a deepening of the voice. In females, the breasts form. And the hips start to broaden, and you get your period. Your menstruation will begin. So these are your secondary sex characteristics. All right, so I want you to kind of go through and pay attention to the differences between estrogen in the female and testosterone in the male. So again, in the female, the secondary sex characteristics are driven by estrogen production in the ovaries. For breast development, uterine growth, body hair, the hips become wider, fat deposition around the hips and thighs, and the development of the external genitalia. In the male, the testosterone produced by the testes, body hair, chest hair, back hair, increased hair on the arms and legs, increased muscle mass and strength, increased bone mass, facial hair, an enlargement of the larynx, which causes the voice to become deep and get deeper, a lower voice, and enlargement of the penis. So these are your secondary sex characteristics. So I point this out because a lot of times when people want to categorize male and female, what they're really talking about are the secondary sex characteristics. But the primary sex organs are what characterize male and female. So the testes in the male and the ovaries in the female. And those are based on your genetic makeup. So if you're a male, you're XY, and if you're female, you're XX, and that's going to lead to the development of testes in the male and ovaries in the female. And we'll talk about this in more detail as we move through this unit. So what we're going to learn the male and female anatomy. Okay, so we're going to do the external and internal genitalia and all the secondary sex characteristics and all the things about males and females, all the ducts and tubes and where the sperm are developed, where the egg develop. We're going to talk about the differences between mitosis and meiosis. I'm going to briefly talk about this. I'll also lead you to some places for review if you've not studied this previously. We're going to talk about how the sperm and the egg are formed, so gamete formation. We're going to talk about the sexual response. We're going to talk about ejaculation in the male and orgasms in the female. We're going to talk about the ovarian and uterine cycle, so what's going on in the uterus every month, the ovaries every month, to prepare a female for possible pregnancy. We're going to talk about pregnancy itself, and we're going to talk about how the fetus is developing during that period of gestation. So a lot to cover. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of stuff in this unit. So so get ready, and I will see you again in the next video. Thanks a lot.